Japanese market just a couple of days ago took a huge hit, which have put all the global markets into mayhem. What does that mean for us? Hi, this is Zuzana. I'm from Zuzanareacts channel, and welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who don't know, I learn all about things borrowed with you guys, and well as I share my Central European point of view. And today's video, we are going to look into what does that huge crash mean for us, for all of our knowledge. How does that impact India? How does that impact entire global trade? And yeah, I'm very curious to analyze that with you. But before we jump into today's video,
please like this video and click on the subscribe button and turn on the notification. Thank you so much for your support.
So let's go and check it out together. Please share this video with all your friends just so they can be really aware of what's going on and how to protect their future and their livelihood. So let's dive into it.
Let's talk about the other big story today, the meltdown in global markets from Japan to India and the United States. All major markets were in the red today. Investors worldwide have lost billions, including those in India. Going by one claim, 17 lakh crores were wiped off from the Indian markets today. That's more than $20 billion gone in a day. It was a bloodbath. For months, Indian markets have been on a high. Investors have witnessed a record-breaking bull run. The Nifty alone hit record highs more than 45 times this year. The Nifty is an index of India's top 50 companies. Its boom was thanks to big bets by investors. They were sold on India's growth story. So have they lost confidence now? What caused the sell-off today? Well, broadly, there are three reasons. Number one, recession fears in the US. They've returned. We told you about this last week, about how rising unemployment claims and a slowdown in the manufacturing sector have raised fears of an American recession. The US has released its latest unemployment data, and here's what it says. 4.3% of all Americans are unemployed. This is close to a three-year high. In April last year, unemployment was a little more than 3%. So the US is witnessing an increase in joblessness. And this is making American banks nervous, banks like Goldman Sachs. They say that there's a higher probability of recession in the US. Earlier, they'd said that there was a 15% chance of recession in 2025. Now they say there's a 25% chance of recession. So that's one reason for the investor panic, the state of jobs and its potential impact on the economy. Reason number two is the situation in West Asia. It's going from bad to worse. There is fear of a wider regional conflict. Iran and its proxies could target Israel this week. In fact, they could launch an attack in the next 24 hours.
The Islamic Republic of Iran will definitely take serious and deterrent action with strength, determination, and firmness in ensuring its security and punishing the aggressor. Iran cannot be indifferent towards its security, its friends' and allies' security, and the security of the region.
Both the Hezbollah and Iran want revenge. Hezbollah for the death of one of their top commanders. He was taken out by an Israeli airstrike. And Iran wants to hit back at Israel for the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, the political chief of Hamas. Both attacks happened on the same day last month. Now, reports say Iran and its proxies want to respond to strike targets deep inside Israel. If that happens, Netanyahu has vowed to hit back. So you know where this is going. And it's making the stock markets even more nervous. Reason number three is India Inc. and the tepid first quarter results. So far, 30 out of India's top 50 companies have reported their numbers, and their business is growing by just about 0.7%. This is on a year-on-year basis. And what about profits? They've declined by almost 10% quarter on quarter. So a mix of external and internal factors led to today's mass sell-off. And it's not just the stock markets. The Indian rupee is feeling the pressure too. It touched an all-time low against the US dollar. $1 was trading at almost 84 rupees. Like I said at the beginning, This is not limited to India. Other parts of the global economy are also facing headwinds, like the oil markets. The price of Brent crude is down. Global prices are close to an 8-month low. Even cryptocurrencies are in free fall. In the last 24 hours, there has been a sell-off. Crypto assets worth over $1 billion were liquidated. So overall, the sentiment is negative. And will it lead to long-term pain? Honestly, to say at the moment, there's volatility in more ways than one, so we'll have to wait to see what shape this takes.
Okay. So I wanted to bring out this video because I feel like I've actually watched some other videos on this more from my end of the world. But I think it's important to discuss the situation. So what I looked at one video from like a Slovak trader, what he has said, this is 100%. What has happened, it originated in Japan. It's due to the carry money. If I understand it correctly, what's happening is that Japan has now increased interest rates in the bank, so it's not. So the trading, I understand, in that currency is not that favorable anymore. But it does really have also that has sent ripple effects across other countries. So if that's stabilized, we could be out of hook. But I saw a video also of like a professor here in Slovakia who is talking about, like, it was a conversation about what can you do in a crisis. Like, it does feel, from what I read, that we are up for perhaps a recession that we haven't seen. I don't know if it will happen, if the market stabilize. Exactly what she said. How to predict what's going to happen? It might be tough. Maybe they'll whoever they are will try to save it. But like, how can we prepare for it, right? And the answer of the professor was nothing. He goes, because the interviewer enlisted like a number of things. One of them was like buying gold or sucking money in in the we say in your pillows. And he goes, like, probably the most money, like to have the money as in a hand in cash. But what he has spoken about, he said that he didn't think investing in gold was that great, because like if shit hits the fan, you cannot do anything with let's say a brick of gold. But what he actually said was interesting, was about silver. And he says, if there is a way, it would be, out of all the options, to buy silver, but buy it as a silver coin, because if shit hits the fan and you don't have the money, you can actually like exchange those silver coins. And he said that the value of silver is greater, I think, than the gold, because you need everything, from water purification. He's just enumerated so many things. It's just hard now for me to recall. But for those of you that are perhaps engineers in this community, you will certainly know is that you really need silver for manufacturing a lot of things. So in that sense, silver is potentially valuable. I do fear, and I don't want to be conspiratory, but I've been observing this for a while, that there is a strong tendency to implode the entire financial system and replace it, right? Like, no one is not aware of the blockchain and how actually it works brilliantly if it doesn't have like a governmental interference. But what the government have done, they're working on their own versions of blockchains, which is there just to control people like never before. Transition to pure digital currency where everyone knows everything about you is, I feel like, the scariest thing in the world. And I feel like this is what is currently people are trying to orchestrate, like a complete collapse. I think around Second World War. I might be completely wrong, so feel free to go in the comments and correct me on that. But there was this, like, the new fiat system currency, right? Like, the US have gone off the gold standard. I think it's like the Brentwood, something along these lines. I don't know. It doesn't almost even matter. But what matters is that we got to printing money, and this system is no longer operational, right? So, and it looks like it's just about to implode. And I don't know if you have any mortgages. I don't know how that works over, if you can pay them all off just to keep your property to yourself. That would be, I think, advisable. I don't know. I really hope, because the conspiracy world tends to really paint like the biggest doom and gloom, which actually never really happens. So, but we never know. We can also be surprised. But usually the worst case scenarios never materialize. So I don't think it's going to be there. Apparently the market has stabilized, but I don't know, like some people, which you haven't mentioned, they try to link it to Warren Buffett. He was Warren Buffett. I can't pronounce his name. Warren Buffett. Old. He was selling like half of his shares of Apple, and many people are trying to link to that, which a guy had responded, I watched that he's been doing this at least from last year or beginning of this year, so this has nothing to do with it either. He's just basically realized that he needs to diversify his portfolio much more, and that many countries are stockpiling gold. China is definitely, we've had a video on that, like how China is stockpiling a lot of the different things, which it looks like it's stocking up for the war. And that video was a month or two ago, and randomly I came across another video which basically just talked about the exact same thing. It looks like that China is prepping for a war. So I feel like in the middle of difficulties lies an opportunity, right? So what's the opportunity for you guys? Just make sure that you are secure with your finances, that perhaps you have some cash on hand, that you invest in something. He also said that you shouldn't try to keep the money in the bank, but if everyone takes out the money in the bank, the whole system will collapse, right? But as in, like, if you can invest in something that is physical, tangible, that would be also advisable. I think many people in the West invest in art, stuff like that. I think property is always a good option. It's just you never know with the market. Like, you might be waiting 15, 20 years for it to get any return. But yeah, I would pay off my mortgage ASAP if I had all the money. So yeah, I think that's about thing. How do you guys think it's going to evolve? What are your perceptions on that? Because I feel like we're nearing the orchestrated end of the current financial system. And yeah, I mean, I've been observing it for now a couple of years, and it feels like it's getting worse and worse by day, and that something has to pop, something has to give. Do let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this was helpful. Keep safe and secure and positive looking ahead. Let's not feed in the negative narratives of this world. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, please do take care. Sending lots of love. Bye-bye.